Okay, hey Dan, there is your movement. I finished the main part of the rebuild. I just finished it, and it's now on my Timegrapher. So this is your 6139 movement. Great movement. Yours is an early one, Japanese domestic model, and so it being a JDM, there's a few cool things that it has. One, it has a higher jewel count, and two, it's got this cool red printing on the bridges and things like this. Seiko, 21 joules. The standard version, export version of this model only had 17 joules, not 21. So I've just finished this rebuild. I haven't adjusted the movement at all. It's just sitting here running. It came out very cleanly, very nicely, and it's just thinking thoughts. I do love seeing the red text on there. That's really cool. So this is just the preliminary stage. But anyway, here is the Timegrapher. And then let me walk you through some of the numbers. And again, I haven't adjusted any of this. This number of parameters, this is the beats per hour, 21,600 beats per hour. That's the rate that it beats at. 54.5 is the lift angle. It's a geometrical setting that you have to put in order for the rest of these numbers to come out correctly. Beat error, this is when the balance is swinging back and forth if it's not in balance on both sides. If it swings further one way than the other way. So if the tick doesn't match the talk. And here's one thing I should say. I haven't adjusted anything. All I did was rebuild your movement, drop the balance back on, and I'm just letting it run in. That's all I'm doing. So only 4.4 milli, beat error. That's almost nothing. It's really fantastic. Amplitude, we're well over 200, which is great. That's a great starting point. And when we put the winding bridge on it and I finish adjusting it, that number's going to be much higher. So, but this is a great place. I mean, your movement wasn't running at all. The mainspring was gummy and full of garbage as usual, and the movement was of course dry because it had never been serviced, but it had never been abused. And typical for Seiko, even an abused Seiko, the movement was, you took a rebuild very nicely. This is right now it's losing 90, like a minute and a half a day. Don't worry about that. I haven't adjusted this, I haven't adjusted this. No adjustments yet, but you can see it dropping, and that just means it's losing time. It's a nice visual. And there again is your movement. Doing movement stuff. Banging along, which is great. The next thing going on is I have your dial. Now your dial here, I've cleaned the loom off, and I've cleaned the surface as best as I can. There's a little bit of change on the surface reflectivity. That's the way it is. There's nothing I can do about that, and that's pretty much the way it came out. So I'm going to loom these markers, but the rest of it looks good. Unfaded orange, and that's pretty nice. This is your indicator ring. The indicator ring goes around the dial, and it turns. And the only thing it's missing here is there's supposed to be a loom triangle right there. I'm going to put that back, which I'm pretty excited about. And I've got your hands are cleaned out, and they're ready to be reloomed. And then that's it. I don't have your case back, but when I get it, I want it so that when basically it comes back, I'm going to have all the stuff ready to drop into it. We can go from there. All right.